Hey, what's up, guys? Whew. I'm doing an early show today. For the UK punters. Yes, it's been that it's a day when I could get off work a little bit early just for you guys. Woo! So let's talk some watches, guys. Thank you for joining. Let me just drop the invite link here and let me drop it in the Discord. By the way, guys, if you don't know yet, the Discord is now available for all the members. And not only that, I am giving away some free Discord invites. So if you're interested, please shoot me an email, and and we'll talk about it. Ooh, we got Mr. 2. Hey, watch lovers. Mr. 2, early is great. I can watch for a little bit. Okay. I need to I'm going to try to do more of these early shows. It's just sometimes it's so tough for me, especially when I try to make videos. But it's really good because, guys, I'm trying to go to sleep early today so I can go and make a video or maybe even 2 tomorrow. So, and tomorrow is going to be the 100th day, the 100th episode. This is, today is episode 99. Tomorrow is episode 100. Can you believe it? That we have gone through so much and we have reached a first big milestone, I feel like, for the show. The first one was getting monetized, and that's 1,000 subscribers, and now 100 episodes. Whew! And I couldn't have done it without you guys for keeping me going. Wright, $2 super chat. You're slowly becoming a legend, my main man, Tim. Hey, Wright, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better from a total rookie. Feels good. The hard work is paying off, and I feel good. I feel like making more vids. And we got Tony Nickel. Morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Tony. I keep calling Nico, Tony Nickel, and Nicolin. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, yes, guys. Mr. Scaramanga, thank you for reminding everybody to please upvote, like, comment, and subscribe. I wanted to talk about the dilemma of the two-tone Tim. It's splitting me apart, guys. I thought I would be extremely satisfied with the stainless steel, and I am. I love my Explorer 1 stainless steel, but I think I created a little bit too much hype for my own good for the two-tone Explorer 1, because I get people constantly messaging me telling me to get the two-tone. They're willing to go out of their way to help me get it, and it's just, I don't know what to do. It's tough. Perth luxury. Hey Tim, morning from Perth. Oh, Perth, Western Australia. 5 a.m. here. Wowzers. Good morning, Perth. That's early. What are you doing at that time? This is like, those are hiking hours. That's when the hikers wake up. And Hans Nasentaz. Oh, Noki, take here. I heard that stream where you gave the second gen Seiko guy your snowflake. I love that story. Interesting. Actually, I don't know about that, but that's pretty cool. That's very cool. Wow. Oh my God. Second gen Seiko. Wow. Man, Tony's such a legend. Love his food. By the way, guys, he's on the Discord, always sharing his delicious food. I think a lot of people gained a lot of pounds just following that channel alone because the guy he just eats the most delicious stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to lose weight, but so I have to avoid that channel in the Discord like the plague. And the most ridiculous thing is he's so skinny. Like, how can a man eat so much and be so skinny? It makes no sense. The guy's amazing. But let me give you guys some things that I was talking about. Like, some people messaged me and they wanted to compare the Explorer 1 to the Datejust 36. Okay. So I want to go through some things that 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 I've been thinking. Um, let's go to the Explorer 1. Let's open it up. Oh my God, that's not how you open it. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so let's get them side by side because I'm starting to really dig the 36 mil size. It's the kind of size that makes sense. Um, and some people wonder, like, what do you get? And I had some thoughts about this, but I want to hear your guys' opinion on this comparison. Hey, Cooler Fiend, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Tim?
Hey, I'm gonna try to kind of brainstorm for the tomorrow's video. Okay?
Sure.
So look at this. I opened up these two watches side by side. Okay? Look at this. Explorer 1 or just an Explorer with versus Datejust 36. Now, both of us we have the Explorer 1, right? You got the Explorer 1 36.
Yep. Yeah, the old one.
The old one. Yeah, it's the classic, the vintage, right? The vintage original. Ooh, 1 second. Look at this. I forgot. I totally missed this. By the way, JLB has became a staff writer. Oh, story. Oh my God, story editor. JLB, thank you for upgrading your membership to a story editor. I highly appreciate it. And he sent a super chat on top of that. Europe and Aussies able to join the Tim Show live. More early shows, Tim. Oof, I'm gonna try to really spread them out. Actually, the early hours. Now that I'm thinking about it, they're good. I'm gonna do early show, and then the next day I can film a show a little bit better because I can go to sleep earlier. Then I can wake up like at 6 in the morning and go film a YouTube video, come back, edit it, and do a late show. So it's actually there is a way for me to balance these out. So I'll try to do more. I'll try to do more. I'm so sorry that I haven't been doing uh like a lot of these early shows, but I'm gonna try to do better. I'm gonna try to do better. Even tomorrow, I'm gonna do both an early show and a late show because it's the 100th episode. Never thought I would get here. I thought I would just give up somewhere on episode 24.
Yeah, that's a pretty good milestone.
Right? That's pretty insane. 100 episodes. Wow. Mm. But let's talk about these two watches right here in front of us. Look at this. Explorer 1, Datejust 36. Now, is there like just is there like a better is one better than the other?
Hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I think personally, if
Hmm.
we're talking smooth bezel and oyster bracelet,
Yes.
I do prefer the Explorer just because
Hmm.
it has such an iconic, beautiful dial.
Mm.
And it's simple and the whole history and provenance that goes around with it. But that's not to say that Datejust is a bad watch.
Hold on, let me actually change the dial because I think the
Plus,
green one is going to be a little bit unfair of a
right.
comparison.
Plus, there are some more subtle differences which well, for example, the bezel on the Explorer, it's flat,
Hmm.
whereas I believe on the Datejust it's domed.
It is. It is. You're absolutely correct. The bezel on the Datejust 36 it's got a curve to it.
Right. And Hans is saying he likes the dome bezel. I personally like the flat bezel, so
Me
it is
too.
a
But
personal
that's just a
preference.
personal kind of preference, right? Um, I don't think one bezel is better than the other. I just prefer the flat one.
Right. Same here.
Yeah, but you know what? I think I can get used to the domed bezel, right? There's nothing. I also think like domed bezel is a little bit more feminine, right? It's just I don't know why I would say that. I'm just saying it feels a little bit more just curves, because it's got
Yeah,
curves.
a little less tool watch, a little more
Hmm.
dress watch.
Hmm. There's a lot more polishing also on the Datejust 36. It's got those center links. It's also There's also right, the clasp difference. The class on the Explorer you have the safety clasp, whereas on the
Ooh,
Datejust,
yes.
yeah, you don't get the safety clasp.
You mean the flip over
The
lock?
flip over, I think that's called. Is that called flip lock or is that called safety
I'm
clasp?
not sure.
I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the terminology on it is.
You know what's another big draw for me for the
Mm-hmm.
Explorer over the Datejust?
It's called safety clasp.
Yeah, I see. I really love the Mercedes handset. So
Mm,
it's iconic to the sports range, and
yes.
that sort of um, defines it as a sports model as
Mm,
opposed to a classic model. The handset,
mm. Interesting. Interesting. That does make it. So I was gonna say, right, like that makes it more legible. Like there is and actually, if you look at the amount of loom, if you can like calculate the quantity of loom that's on the dial, there's more loom on the Explorer dial because, for example, here it's got that big triangle, right, oh, actually, I can do this. Look at this. So if we just look at the loom, right? Uh, the Datejust, it's got that crown that doesn't have any loom, but you have that more, the big Rolex crown at the 12 o'clock, and you have a little bit of loom in the hands versus the Mercedes hand, which is just packed with loom, and the
right? Right.
369, which makes reading the time easier. So this feels like this is a time first watch. Its sole purpose is to be as legible, telling you the time as possible. Versus the Datejust 36, it's like it's got another piece of information, a day. Right? It's a day. So when you're signing some kind of check, if you're doing something where you need to know the date, um, which is like that makes it what's it called, like a good like city watch. I feel like a job watch
Right.
for work, whereas because you're like, if you're doing some sports you don't really need to know the date, you need to know the time. Let's say you're hiking, you have to be in some location by 8 a.m. or by 8 p.m., right? So you glance at the time, oh, it's 5:30. I have to pick up the pace, I have to get there faster. So I think, like, although like the, one could argue, oh, you know what, they're both very legible. Still, I think that the other one is just time forward. It's more legible. It's more.
And you know what I was just thinking about this a couple of days ago.
Hmm.
It's interesting to me how the Mercedes hands on the Explorer, they look like they match so well, even though there isn't congruence really between the handset and the indices.
Mm,
So what I mean is, for example, on a Submariner, you have a circular Mercedes hand and you have circular indice plots.
yes.
Whereas that's not the case with the Explorer, but it
Hmm.
still somehow works so well.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's
And that's
like,
something that I can't really describe, with
yeah,
with a design theory.
yeah. Very interesting because
Like,
here the hands really match the markers on the Datejust. You got the
right,
square, right?
exactly.
These rectangular hour indices and rectangular hands, so it just goes really well with each other. But here they're totally different. But you know what? Having everything totally different, you know what it does? It contributes to legibility. If everything is
Yes.
the same, you can, if you glance quickly, an hour marker, like if you look at this, for example, it's at 10:10, right? But the hour marker kind of blends in with the hour indice. Whereas here, that triangle at the end actually gives you a more precise time, right? Because
Hmm.
actually, look at this. I didn't even think about this until now. Obviously, you got the seconds, right? The seconds tell you what minute it is. But having that sharp edge, uh, it tells you literally, like, you see the, can I make it bigger?
Yeah, it's like it comes to a point.
Yeah, it comes to a point and it gives you a more precise time. Whereas you look at the a minute marker here, it it's it doesn't give you that precise time. You know what I mean? And also having loom on the seconds hand tells you, time more precisely than the seconds hand without loom. I didn't even think about this. The
Um,
loom, right? Like I always forget that these sports model have that little pip of loom at the
mhm.
bottom, whereas here there's no. That's just a seconds hand, just a needle point. Hmm. It's not as precise. Like it'll tell you the time. Although people are always like so concerned about, is it plus 2 seconds, minus 2 seconds per day? But it's kind of like a designer's way of telling you, it's just don't just calm down. It doesn't have to be precise to a minute, right? It's just you have to be there on time. Whereas the Explorer one's like, we'll just try to be as precise as possible.
And
Interesting.
it's another thing I realized a couple days ago
Mm,
is that um, the bracelet on the Explorer
hmm.
is narrower
Oh,
on the new Explorer.
really?
Right.
Wait,
So
wait.
like
What's the width on the old one? On yours?
so as far as I know, every single Oyster case 36 millimeter Rolex has always had a 20 millimeter lug width.
What?
Except this Explorer is the first one that doesn't. It has 19.
It's 19. Yeah.
Yeah, at first when you
Wow.
measured it, I thought you were mistaken, but then I was looking through some forums and everyone was confirming that. So
Damn.
so I just find that, and you can even see it here on this comparison here. You can see it's
Yes.
narrower.
Yes, you can. You look at this, it's like that's just thicker.
So that's I thought that was a very interesting decision.
Huh.
I'm not really sure why.
You know what? I think I know why. I mean, this it just contributes to kind of you almost don't feel it on the wrist. And I think that's why it's so light on the hand, is because of that really thin bracelet. Like it gives me so much more freedom of motion on the wrist. Like with Submariner, sometimes you have it. Sometimes you don't have this whole freedom of motion. Whereas Explorer One, it's never in your way. So I think maybe going with the smaller bracelet, they uh they really minimized. the impact. It also makes the watch look bigger when the bracelet is kind of thinner, right? It makes the head look bigger just by contrast.
Sure. It makes the head look bigger in proportion to the bracelet.
Yeah, it's like a
But
visual trick.
right, but as overall wrist presence, I think it would slightly detract from overall size. I don't know. It's half a dozen in one, 6 in the other.
Yeah, I mean, let's actually, you know what? Let me put these two clasps side by side.
Yeah, I'm. You know what I'm curious about is the width of the clasp on that Explorer versus
Mhm.
the width of the clasp on your sub.
Oh yeah, that's what I have both of them right here.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
oh,
your.
oh, oh. Actually, you know what?
Is
I
that your
can.
sub?
Oh yeah, that's my sub. Actually, one second. Let me do it like this. So these are the two clasps side by side.
Sub one that well, it looks
This is the
wider. I'm not really
Explorer.
sure.
That's the sub. Yeah, it is. I think it's actually, well. First of all, this has the glide lock, so it's much longer.
Right.
But the width wise, it's just a little bit wider. Right? I think it's just like 1 millimeter wider. Actually, let me get the calipers. And of course, I don't know where I put them.
You know, when I saw those plastic digital calipers, I was blaming the calipers. I was like, oh, those are just made in China junk. They're not accurate.
I don't even know where they are. They actually, I was surprised by how accurate they are. I tested them multiple times, and although because they're black, I always lose them. They just blend in with everything. Who knows where they are? It's ridiculous. You know what? I'll just do it with the measuring tape. I have one of these. Okay. Oh, this is not gonna be precise, but let me give it a try. Let's see. The sub. Oh, 16. The sub is 16 on the thing on the width, and the Explore one is 15.
Hmm.
Okay.
That makes sense because the sub starts at 20,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the Explorer is at 19.
Yeah.
So it's like a 1 millimeter difference all the way down.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. So like, look, the Submariner, right? That if I don't have as much freedom because it will hit my bone over there, and also the bracelet. I can really like this is a watch that's felt on the wrist. It's got that wrist presence, and it's, you know, it's really surprising with all the sports models moving up to 21 and 22 on the Explorer 2. Right? Is it 22?
Yes.
Yeah, Submariner is now 21 and
Yes.
Explorer 2 is now 22. The bracelets are really getting wide. That they slimmed down the bracelet
Right.
on
Which is yeah.
it's the first, right? That's the first 19 bracelet.
Yes.
I think
No,
so.
the old date 34 dates. I think they had 19s.
Oh, but that wasn't with like it wasn't the glide lock.
No. Well,
It wasn't this machine bracelets. They were
no. The 34 date was just discontinued recently.
ah
So it did have it, but that's a
oh,
34
okay,
mil.
okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay. Gotcha, gotcha.
The
I didn't know
the
what you were talking about, but yes.
Yeah. So it's definitely a first as far as I know for the 36 mil case.
Mm, let's see here what the Stuart Logan says. What does Explorer 114270 versus 124270 side by side look like?
Yeah. So that's mine versus yours.
Yes, that would be actually a really amazing comparison.
Yeah,
I need
I
Mhm.
saw a photo of this the other day.
Oh yeah?
So the new one, it has all the indices are a little more maxi. They're all a little bigger. The
On the new one.
369 is bigger,
Uh-huh.
and your lugs are a little wider looking.
Uh-huh. Oh,
And
maybe we
your
can bring up the picture of this. Do you have the picture? Or
I'm gonna have to look for it.
let me see it. 114270 versus 12270. Just Google it. Let's see if there's an image. Oh, there's one on probably one. Let's see. Oh, wow, no pictures. No side by side.
Yeah, it's there's not too many photos yet since it's such a new model.
Yeah, there's only like here. There's only photo like this where somebody, it looks like it's kind of Photoshop.
That's that's the 39 mil.
Is this the 39?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. 114270. Oh, yes, you're right. Damn it. What about this? Oh, nope. Also, damn it. Because that's the Mark II. What about this? No, that's just the Air King. Man, is this it? No. Oh, this is from.
Yeah, this is the new. Oh no, sorry, that's
No. This is the 39 versus the. There's what, like
yeah.
39 versus the old one. Like this one. This is like 1016 or something. Wait, which one is that? These images take so long to load. Yeah, but I would love to actually get my hands on one of these and do a comparison. But the dial on the 39 was matte black, whereas this one is kind of glossy.
Right. And the old one was also glossy.
Mm-hmm.
So they went back to glossy.
Ah, okay. I see. Oh, there's really good articles. There's a lot of like options here. Ooh, this was the 39. Oh, and it had the Explorer at the bottom. The new one's got the Explorer at the top. Fascinating. Mm. And look at that. 1016. Wow. Very interesting. Oh, it had the Explorer at the top before. Why did they ever move it to the bottom? Makes no sense.
Okay, Tim, I found the photo.
Can you put the link in the private chat? Or are you gonna send it?
Yeah, I just put it in.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. So this is the old one?
Yep.
What? Oh my god. Wow, this is a really good picture. This is incredible picture. Okay.
The new one looks bigger, hey?
It's amazing how much bigger it looks.
But it's not bigger. It's the same case width. It
Mm.
just looks bigger.
This like literally goes to show the power of like illusion of how the proportions people, I think that this is what my video the last video about the Explorer, where I was talking about like the size, and I mentioned like, you know what, the size really is affected by not just the size of the dial, but also the proportion of like the indices of like hour markers proportion to the dial, and then proportion to the bezel, and then to the case, to the bracelet, right? All of those proportions, that's what makes the watch look bigger. Like you look at this and you think like, yeah, this is bigger. This looks just way bigger. But man, they're the same size. It's incredible.
And look at your as we talked about earlier, you can see how the bracelet being narrower, it makes the head look bigger in proportion to it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. You look at it, and also like you said that the lugs they're slimmer? Are they cut slimmer, or because like this space does look a little bit slimmer, but maybe they went. It's possible that they came out of the case on the wider, right? Because the case could be the case is like the size of the what's it called? Like the case could be on the diagonal, could be identical, but
Right.
because they came this portion at the angle that it comes out, the lugs, the angle that it comes out from the case, uh changes the size. So it does, like, this portion looks bigger, and although the bracelet is smaller, I think that's why there is this. Look here, the lugs look thinner, right? But they probably are thicker here because the bracelet is thinner, right?
Right,
'Cause-
right. It could be, yeah, it could be this, it could very well be the same lug angle, but
Mhm.
because the bracelet's narrower, the lugs are chunkier.
Oh yeah.
It's the
Wow.
same thing they did to the sub 41
Wow.
versus 40,
Mm. And
except the
then you
opposite, because they made the
and
bracelet wider, so the lugs look narrower.
oh yeah. And the numbers, obviously, all the markers, they're bigger, I think. The markers are bigger.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's a really good look, making everything a little maxy.
Yes, everything is kind of maxed out. And I didn't even know that there's loom in these indices, or are they? Is that loom inside, or?
No, so it's not loomed.
Ah,
It could have been loomed, but it's not.
yes. Oh, so it's like paint inside?
Yeah, it's just paint that matches the loom.
Oh, wow.
But it's also very thin,
Hmm.
so maybe they couldn't apply it that thin or something.
It's possible. Yeah, because obviously these numerals, right? They had to be the size that's appropriate to, when appropriate to the markers. So when they made the markers bigger, then they could make the numbers bigger. And now that the number, and then they had the bigger numbers, and then they had those bigger numbers without loom, and then they put the loom inside, and then they carried it all over back to the 36.
Right, right, right.
Wow, wow,
Yeah, you
that's
can see how all these design elements link together.
yeah. It's like the evolution, the evolution. You literally see the evolution happening in front of your eyes. That's pretty amazing.
And
Jeez.
another minor difference,
Mhm.
I believe the brushing on the lugs on the new one is
Mhm.
vertical brushing. Is that right?
You mean let's see.
So when you look at the
Yes.
lugs, the brush goes from up to down.
Yes.
Whereas on the old one, the brushing is on an angle.
Ah. Oh yeah,
It's
no, the
on like a
brushing.
yeah,
Uh-huh. Wow. Yeah, the brushing isn't the same way as the bracelet. It looks like it matches the brushing of the bracelet.
right. On the old one, the brushing is on like a 45-degree angle, pointing inwards
Ah.
towards the bracelet.
Ah, interesting. So it's brushed like this. Ah, okay. Interesting. And what about the crystal? Does it sit higher, because I was told that the crystal on the new one sits lower. Let me show you what I mean. So here, if I bring it really close, second. Okay. So as you can see, now is the crystal on the new one a little bit lower, or is it same?
It looks about the same.
Okay, okay. What about the way the lugs drop? Is that the same as well?
Yeah, it looks very similar.
Okay. That's around the perimeter. Okay. Hmm. Fascinating.
Yeah, definitely a worthy update because when you look at it on the surface, it looks very similar to the old one. But once you
Yeah.
start picking apart all these little details, there's actually a lot that's different.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like just the bracelet itself. Like I wasn't even thinking about that the old one had the older style bracelet. And now with the newer style bracelet, it makes it like a really worthwhile purchase, because that bracelet is just it's magical. Um Although the old one now the really cool thing I think about the old one is the 20 millimeter width, the lug width, because that is such a good width that you can kind of put almost any strap.
Right.
And now on the 19, I don't know if there's that many 19 mil straps out there,
Yeah,
right?
definitely less options.
Yeah.
But you know what the other thing
Mm-hmm.
is? Yes, the new bracelets are technically superior,
Mm-hmm.
but there are still a good group of people who prefer the old bracelets.
Oh yeah.
And the reasons are, one, because of the lightness,
Mm-hmm.
because the center links are hollow, it makes the watch lighter.
Yes.
And secondly, because the clasp is so basic and stamped, it's extremely thin.
Mm-hmm.
So they're, technically speaking, it's inferior bracelet, but there
Mm-hmm.
are still some factors that would make somebody prefer it.
Actually, I was told that this is kind of ridiculous thing, but I was told that you know how on the new one, right? There's the 5 millimeter easy link extension, right? So that's the way you make it bigger or larger. Whereas on the old one, you can actually bend that part that's in between. Obviously, a lot of people don't do it because it's a luxury timepiece. But if you bend that inner part, you can actually like make it bigger or large or smaller. You can tighten the bracelet by bending the fold over clasp inside.
Um,
I don't know
I
how
think,
true that
yeah,
is,
I think you're
but
mixing up two different things. So the way you micro adjust the bracelet, there are holes in the clasp where you
no,
can
no, no.
move the
But
spring bar.
to do that, you actually you need to have a tool to take them out.
Yeah,
But I think if you bend, like you open it up and it's got that
the stamped, the
the fold,
stamped
yeah, the
yeah,
stamped
arm.
part. And if you bend that stamped part, you can actually micro adjust it that way.
Um,
It's
that doesn't
just
make sense because the clasp still has to reach over to the other side to clip in.
no, but so the way so but the thing is that you size it like so the way you would. I have no idea what I'm talking about right now, but in my head, you know how that would work. So basically, you bend the part, then you size it. That makes it kind of so you bend it, right? Then you size it, and then you unbend it, and it becomes wider. And then if you wanted to make it tighter, you unbend. There is like a technique to do it properly.
So
I just don't know
so
exactly what I'm talking about.
yeah, so like I'm looking at it right now, and
Mhm.
that doesn't make any like physical sense. But I'll tell you what the bending does do. I think maybe you're mixing it up with something else because the bending of the stamped clasp, it's
Mhm.
about how tight the clasp locks once you close it.
Mhm.
So
Mm.
basically, over time, if you feel like when you press it in and it locks in,
Okay.
and if over time you feel like that lock is kind of getting loose and it's not as tight as you wanted it to be,
Mhm.
you can bend that stamped clasp just a hair, and it'll
Mhm.
make that closure tight.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure, maybe if you're mixing something up.
I don't know.
But yeah,
It
I've
just
actually done that before. I've played with it where I bend it just a hair, and all of a sudden the lock gets super tight, and it feels more secure.
let's see. What is this guy's gonna do?
See, it's
Okay, so
loose. It's
it's
loose for
loose. Yeah.
him,
Yeah.
right? It takes too little pressure to open it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Let me just skip it. Okay, so it's loose. Oops. Why is it like that? Okay. Oh, oh. Sorry. Okay, so he's lift the curve, increase the curve of the top part. Okay. Okay, so he's okay, so no, you probably shouldn't do this.
Nah, it's fine.
So
I've
yeah.
done it. I've done it.
I mean, I'm just also the viewers, guys. You probably shouldn't do this. Nobody should do this. But let's see what that's gonna do. So he bended that part. Ooh.
Now it's a lot tighter
Okay. Yes.
because the clasp doesn't reach over as far anymore. So it needs
Uh-huh.
to it really needs to kind
Mm-hmm.
of stretch to clip in.
Mm. Makes it really now. What
Which
about
is, and this
yeah?
is, you can say, yeah, it's a shitty bracelet, and yeah, it's true,
No,
technically
I mean
speaking.
it's.
But
I
um,
mean, I think I wouldn't say it's a shitty bracelet. I think that actually it was designed for purpose. Like nobody thought that people would keep these bracelets and have them like right like people are really concerned about having their bracelets to last so long. I mean back then people were just like, yo, you just get a new bracelet. Now everybody's concerned about keeping all the original parts, right? So obviously a bracelet like this was not going to age as well as like the modern stuff.
yeah, and like with this sort of bending technique, yeah,
Yeah.
you can say, oh, it's a shitty bracelet, so you need to bend it to fix it. But like on the flip side of that, you're basically uh, adjusting or fixing it very easily.
Yeah. No,
It's
that's
like
like
it's like having an old like '95 Jeep Wrangler or something, with like mechanical and like very mechanical, no electrics, solid axles, very simple to fix, cheap parts. It's that
mm,
kind of ethos.
my Uber driver yesterday was driving a stick. I asked him like, "Oh, like you're driving a stick," and he said, "Oh yeah, my wife. She is like I think she said I forgot which country he said from, but he said she wanted the stick, and then I bought a second car. It was automatic, and now I'm stuck driving this one.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? It was like when he was driving the stick, you can actually feel the car. It's a different feel. Now I wasn't even driving the thing, but I was feeling like I'm driven in a different car. There's just something to it. I was like, it. The car just has a completely different vibe to it. It's just I don't
Yeah,
know.
a lot of car guys are into manuals because you
Mm,
feel the car better.
yeah, and like I could like the car felt a little bit more like alive. Like it was more things were happening. Like when it was engaging, it felt it. You could feel it. And, it wasn't like as smooth. Like some people really like, oh, it has to be kind of perfectly smooth. But I don't know. I found that experience to be quite pleasant. You could just really feel like car switching. You can hear something like something inside like
Yeah,
changing, and then he
clunking
goes fast.
around. Yeah, the
Yeah,
gears locking
yeah.
in.
It's just like because that little bump somewhere in the front when the gear is changing, it kind of vibrates through, and you can feel it in the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a lot cheaper to replace a clutch than to replace a whole automatic transmission.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So I think and look, like bending that thing, it's not like it's gonna break.
No,
I don't
no.
know how many times you would have to bend it for it to break. But the
Look,
only reason, and you know what, those bracelets, especially like the one we just looked at, right? These vintage bracelets. I mean, there's still a lot of these watch brands. They're so far away, even from that bracelet. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but for example, I had an opportunity to handle Drew's Datejust 36, and it has that jingly jangly bracelet, right? You can feel the quality in the bracelet. Something you can't say for many for me, for Mr. Two's comment just cracks me up. You can't say the same thing like the Omega, like even a lot of those Omega bracelets. It just I don't know what it is. It just feels different. It's hard to explain. But Mr. Two says, "Lol, Tim explaining manual transition, hilarious. He's not a car guy for sure. No, man.
yeah,
I,
there's quality even though it's old. I like to compare it to old power tools.
Mm.
So new modern power tools, they're so much better. They have so much more power. They're so easy to use, but at the same time, all the old tools they built all of America, so they're clearly competent.
I mean, and like some of those, the old stuff, it still lasts today. We don't know uh how good these new bracelets will be. For example, here's the thing: the although people can complain about the ceramic bezel, I think, okay, sorry, not complain. They say so much praise about the ceramic, the advantages of the ceramic. It won't scratch, right? Think about it. The ceramic bezel can outlive us, but there are problems with it, and if you can't get it crack, if you hit it too hard, whereas the old one, yeah, it'll get a ding, but it's still going to be alive. You get a ding on the ceramic bezel, it's gonna crack and destroy itself, disintegrate.
Yeah, and you know what's the other difference?
Yeah. What's the other?
The aluminum bezel is very cheap to replace.
Yep. Yep. It's
Ceramic is not cheap.
ceramic's gonna cost 500. Now it costs, I think, $500. Then you have to pay a little bit for labor. Oh, I think actually like maybe even 800. Because especially it's filled with platinum, right? There's a lot of justification. Lolex, please.
Hey, boys, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome, awesome. I got my AirPods on right now, so I'm at work. But we're talking
Mm.
Datejust and Explorers right now. This is my
Yep.
type of
Versus.
conversation.
This is a battle of the giants, or
I
should I
love it.
say midweights?
So
The lightweights.
I've had both of these, so I feel I should weigh in here. I've had the 39 and I've had the 41 Datejust. And I'm in the
Yes,
market
yes.
for another 41. So I know how these two handle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. And Tim, have you handled the 39? Conrad, have you handled the 39?
No.
I mean, they had it. I remember they had it in the store window, and I
Mm-hmm.
tried it
Oh,
on, and I had the opportunity to kind of fike around with it a little bit.
yeah, Tim, you just jogged my memory. I actually did see it at the 80. I did try it on.
The 40,
Yeah.
the 39.
Yeah, this was like 3 or 4 years ago.
You tried it on?
Yeah.
Cool, very good.
Call me crazy. Call me
Yes.
crazy here, but I feel like the Datejust feels more premium than the Explorer one. And that's not a shot at you, Tim. That's not a shot at you because I know you have the 36. But
No, I
it just
will
feels
agree
more
with you.
premium.
I'll agree with you on that. Definitely, and I don't even know how to, like, what would be the reason, especially because here's the thing: the 39. Now you haven't tried the 36.
No,
You
I
tried the
haven't.
39, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's something about the 39 that felt like it was lacking a little bit of soul.
I don't
I don't know
know.
what it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree because I had the Oyster Petrol 39 at the same time.
Mm,
So I have photos where I'm holding both of them together.
Oh,
And
send them.
and they are okay. I'm on my phone
And
right now, so I'm gonna time out
yeah.
when I
Oh,
do
okay,
this.
okay, okay. No problem. No problem. No
No,
problem. You
no,
send
no,
it.
no.
There's
I'll
going to be
send
a
it.
topic for conversation for the next episode. Man, I'm running out of ideas. Please.
You're running out of ideas. No, I've had both of them, and they are identical,
Mm,
shockingly identical. I'm gonna send it right now. Hold on.
mhm.
Um, but
Okay,
Conrad, what are your thoughts? Oh, he just
No, I'm here. I'm here.
he's here.
okay. What are your thoughts?
On
On the
on what
premiumness.
you think that the Datejust feels more premium.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's probably um um just the feeling you're getting from more of a casual watch compared to more of like a dressy fancy watch.
Hmm.
Um,
Fancy wancy.
yeah, and the dial layout is more sort of refined and classic versus sort of like rugged. So
You know,
maybe that's something to do with it.
I'll add another thing. On the Yachtmaster, they have
I'm back. Can you guys hear
the
me?
matte dial. Yes, yes, yeah, we
Oh
can hear you.
Yep.
shit.
On the Yachtmaster, they have that matte dial. Uh, but the thing is, the matte dial is offset with that platinum, with that rose gold bezel, right? And that gives it so much life. Whereas on the Explorer 1, ep.99, the matte dial is so exposed. It kind of makes it feel like, ooh, it doesn't feel as premium. Oh, he dropped off by accident. Here we go.
Okay, back. Sorry about that, boys. So I
No, it's
sent you
okay.
the photo, Tim. I sent you the
I'm
photo.
gonna bring them up right now.
Yeah, I don't know why. Explorer 1, great daily watch. A little overrated in my opinion. But great price though at the same time. What is it, 6,000?
Look right here.
That's the thing. The Explorer is cheaper watch, so it should feel like a little bit less.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah, because you're missing out on the date function. So
Yeah,
that's
and
big.
if you go fluted, you're missing out
Woo!
on a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. Did you get those photos, Tim? Are you looking at them?
Yeah, I'm opening it up right now.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
computer has been very. Actually, I was trying to start the show a half hour earlier, but it went completely shitty on me. I had to reboot.
Oof.
Here we go. Ooh, look at this. You look at that and look how the depth of the black dial versus the matte dial. That's what
Yeah.
it gives it's less lively. It's so tool. It's so utilitarian, right?
Yeah.
I think a black dial would have been better on the 36, right? I think if they wanted to make it more legible, they would have kept the matte black dial. But I think they were like, you know what? I mean, this is not so many people gonna hike with this watch, right? We don't need to give them the full utilitarian feel. It's just let's make it sellable so that there's something, there's some make it more premium, and the gloss does make the watch look more premium.
100%. I really I really want the gloss dial on my Rolex watch. I feel like that's another key to the design.
Yeah. I look at this and actually, you know what? Let me compare the gloss of the Sub versus the gloss of the Explorer 1. Are they as glossy or just a little bit, or there's the different gloss?
It's hard to say. The Explorer 1 is pure matte. It's a flat black.
Hard to say.
Yeah.
No, but the Explorer 1, the new Explorer 1, it's not matte. It's glossy.
Right. And same with the old one. Mine is also gloss.
Yeah, you know what? They
Conrad,
look.
you have the Explorer 1?
Yes.
Yeah, I have the old 36 mil.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, they look the same. The dials of the Submariner and the Explorer 1, they look the same. Same glossy, same gloss, same type of gloss.
Well, it's almost the same watch when you think about it. The Explorer 1 and the Sub.
I think actually, Conrad, I think it was you who asked me to measure the size of the dial. The dials look identical, actually. In size. Actually, let me show you.
Yeah, and they have the same movement too. The no date Sub.
The no date.
Yeah, it has the same movement. Yes, that's true.
The new 41 has the same movement as the.
I know the I'm not sure about the new 41, but I know the old historically the no date Sub and the Explorer 1 have always had the same movement.
You know
Very
what? Maybe
cool, Tim.
you see that. The dials look the same. But the Explorer 1 looks more legible actually.
That's why I had to sell mine, man. It was too similar, and it did nothing for me. I really did not enjoy that watch.
Yeah. You know what? Now that I'm holding these two together, I'm kind of glad that I have the date Sub.
Yeah.
Because if this was a no date Sub, this would have been like two identical watches.
Yeah, it would have been too similar.
Jeez. So that's kind of lucky.
Yeah,
I would actually have to go for the two-tone. No excuses, no whinging.
You'd have no,
but
yeah.
And to answer Raj G, he says, is two-tone Tim back going for the Yachtmaster 40 two-tone? Now, who's going for the Yachtmaster two-tone? I know that, man, I was talking to a fan of the show, This guy is so funny. You know what he said?
What?
He said, "Man, I really wanted the two-tone Tim to happen. I would have lent you the money to buy the two-tone, and then you can pay me back later."
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh my god! I'm like, yo, if 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 I was actually offered both at the same time, and he if he helped me out to actually kind of do it like that, I would have like 100%. That would have actually reduced so much stress, because part of the reason I didn't want to get the two-tone is just way too much stress. All my teeth are fiked, and like having this this loan that I can pay off over time would have been like, also it would be another reason to keep doing the shows. So it's like a win. Uh, it's just I thought, oh my god, that's so funny, and there's so many cool people out there, guys. Uh, it's so now that's why I'm so confused. Do I go for the two-tone? You know, this is something Conrad didn't want to know. This is ridiculousness. This is madness, absolute insanity. What do you think about that? Do I still pursue the two-tone Tim situation?
See, the thing for me is there are so many better two-tone watches.
Mm,
I would venture to say the Explorer 1 two-tone is the worst two-tone watch in the whole lineup.
like
That's true.
the two-tone Submariner, that bluesy. You saw the
Beautiful.
bluesy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and or
Lolix,
the
did you
date
see the bluesy?
yeah, or the
Yeah.
datejusts are beautiful. There's so many nice two-tones.
It freaking pops.
I think the
Yeah.
two-tone datejust is so underrated. People don't really it doesn't get enough kudos in my opinion.
Mm,
I
You know
think
why I
datejusts don't get
really
enough kudos.
sorry.
No, go on, Conrad.
I was just gonna say, you know why I really hate the two-tone Explorer 1?
why?
It's a combination of two reasons. Okay, the first reason is because I never liked the Datejust in the two-tone configuration with Oyster and smooth bezel. First of all, I feel like that's a mistake configuration. If you want a two-tone
Mm.
Datejust, you need to go with a fluted bezel. Okay, and so first of all, I don't like that configuration. And secondly, when you put that on the Explorer 1, it's completely antithetical to the whole history of the model. And it's
Yeah.
not even an ironic way of doing it. Like, for example, on the Sea Dweller, it's sort of ironically cool to put two-tone on it because it's such an FU piece.
Yeah.
And it's so tool and so overbuilt that it's kind of ironic to put gold on it. But the
Right.
Explorer 1 has always been the humble man's Rolex. So putting gold on it, it's not ironic. It's just like it just doesn't work for me. It's like it's like a joke that where the punchline
Yeah.
misses.
I find that I find it so funny, the two-tone Explorer 1. It's just such a crazy watch, and I'm a crazy person, so I think like it's the kind of thing like I sometimes I say something and people don't get it, and it's like 10 minutes later they're like, oh that's why like there's so many people so passionate about the two-tone Tim situation.
Are we looking two-tone datejust right now?
Yeah. Oh,
Nice.
let's see here. KK Deer. Tim, yellow or rose gold, and why? Which is better? Um. Oh, let's hear you guys, and then I'll say my what I think. What do you guys think? Two-tone. I think, are we talking about two-tone? Wait, what are we talking about? Kind of confused. Two-tone watches or what? Oh, and 1 second, I missed this one. Derek Monis says, Tim, my Creed Aventus came in today. I sprayed on my kitchen to get sample smell. 3 hours later, come back to my kitchen and smell is still in the air. The stuff is legit. Dude, the Aventus is the stuff of legends. This is what people who will change the world wear. Now let's go back to this one. The two-tone. The two-tone. Let's just think of it this way. Which two-tone they just better? The rose gold or the yellow gold? Oh, it's a spicy question. What do you think?
If I'm spending my money, I'm going yellow. I'm going yellow gold.
Ooh, look at this Night Wristwatchman with a $3 super chat. Bring back Two Tone Tim. Give Two Tone a chance. Man, this thing is. I'll keep exploring options. We'll see it. We'll see it. Oh, he clarified: solid gold or two tone, yellow and rose, which is nice and white. Okay, so now you're saying, Lolix, you're saying yellow gold two tone?
If I'm going for a Datejust,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go yellow gold Datejust.
Ooh.
Two tone.
How come? How come?
It's just classic. I like the classics. It's a classy look. And rose is just a little too muted for me. It's not as blingy. If that
Rose
makes
is
sense.
like, it's popular. Rose gold is popular today, but is it going to be popular tomorrow? Right? That's the thing.
Yes.
Okay. What about Conrad? What do you think?
Well, maybe I'm in the minority here, but I just personally feel like rose gold is a little bit feminine. And I know a lot of guys love rose gold, but just for me, I think it looks amazing on women. But I don't want rose gold on me. So I'm going yellow.
Wow.
Like for example, when I look at the rose gold Daytonas, like those to me those just look like women's watches. I don't know. I know lots of guys love. I know that's like a hot take, but
damn, dropping bombs on people's dreams. Mr. Two is so funny. The older you get, Tim, the more two tone makes sense. Bring back two tone Tim.
Oh, I do have one caveat to that.
Got a point.
I love the root beer.
Yeah. Oh, the root beer is the exception, right? To me, if it's in a Datejust, I think the yellow gold is better, and I say that because it's cheaper actually. It's 11,700 for the yellow gold, and for the rose gold, there's a premium. Oh, it's actually only $300. Okay, no big deal, no big deal. Really, that was only $300 difference. Why did I think it was more difference in there? Huh? Actually, you know what? Never mind. Let's see.
But you have to choose the same dial. That might be changing the price.
The thing. Oh, I think the difference lies in the 41s. Let's go to 41s. Let's see. The Datejust 41 is 13,250. Oh, actually, no. Maybe they changed the prices. I'm not sure. Wow. Very interesting. Dude, this might be there's something going on. I thought the maybe Rolex raised the prices for gold for gold two tones. I always thought that the rose gold was more like significantly more expensive, like $1,000 more expensive or something.
I think maybe in solid gold it might be more of a difference.
Idea. No, there's no solid gold Datejust, but maybe some other watches.
Yeah.
I know the Yachtmaster, there's a big difference, but that's because there's rose gold in the bracelet.
Look at that price, though. 13. That's a pretty decent deal. You think that's expensive? I think that's a good deal for a two tone.
I mean, oh yeah, no, I mean it's expensive for a watch.
Yeah,
but and Raj G $5 super chat. Tim, two tone watch to get has to be the root beer. Look, he agrees with you on the root beer. Looks. And and the two tone is the bluesy, right? Is it like you get the bluesy and the two tone? That's a cool two tone combo Tim combo meal deal. Maybe I'll get those two tones.
And you know what else? Like if you want a Datejust, a two tone Datejust, getting it pre-owned, you save so much money. You can save so much money.
Datejust?
Yeah, like you will routinely find let's say 10 or 15-year-old Datejust where the two tone is the same price as the steel.
Oh yeah. The Datejust. The only reason to get the Datejust two tone is like if you're Duco Ted, right? Duco Ted got a two tone, and he's gonna get a Sermon to go with it for himself. So he got a two tone, right? So that's why you would go with the two tone. So to give a little bit more value to that chat, I would say you get a two tone. And why? And I'll tell you. So the one to get, I'll tell you exactly the one you should get. This is what you get. You get the Datejust. You go for, you know what? Color doesn't really matter. You go for the two tone Datejust 36, and you go and you get this one
Yeah.
because it's a kind of it's a unisex watch, but you say that you're buying this for your wife, but you're buying one for yourself. So you choose like a really good unisex color. Like I would go for something. I think this color combination is good. I like the oyster bracelet, maybe oyster bracelet. Me and Drew would try down the white dial. It pops, but uh, you know what? A Wimbledon is a great option. Champagne. What? Yeah, the champagne is a perfect option. Uh, don't get the diamonds. Don't get the diamonds.
That
So
white dial Roman, that one right
the
there.
white
Looks good.
dial Roman, classy, really nice. I think like even the color here wouldn't so much. Then the thing is with the with the two tone yellow gold, you get a little bit better colors than if you get the rose gold. Because let me go back. Let's try out the rose gold. There's not actually. You know what? There's other options. Oh, check this out. You see, you go with the yellow gold. Let's see what options we get. There's actually less dials now. Look at this. There's these few. Oh no. Oh oh. Here we go. This one right here.
Ooh, it's
No, but
nice.
this is totally. Yo, look. There's the man. Two tone for the win. Oh, right here. This is the one he actually got for his wife. Amazing. This is very expensive. 14. Actually, you know what? It's not the end of the world.
It's pretty damn nice.
Yeah, because it's got the diamonds in the 6 and 9. Ah, stunner. Absolute stunner. Green dial. That's Rolex
Can
green. Yes.
Nice. Can we talk datejust 41s?
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
I got
Back to
fever for
pages.
datejust 41. So that's
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's the watch I'm gonna buy next
yeah.
because I just like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna actually talk about those in just a second. So
Yeah,
I'm just gonna finish up my sorry. I'm gonna finish up my
yeah. Do it.
long thought.
Yeah.
So my thing would be, yeah, you get something like this, and you get it because this gives you access to buy a steel sports watch for yourself. Okay, so that's my take. You do what Duke had done. You buy one for your significant other, and then for yourself, you get any steel sports. It doesn't matter. Submariner, you get, although like yeah, like you get the Submariner, GMT Master 2. You get root beer, maybe you get something really, 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 really desirable, depending on the function. But if you want just the datejust, then I wouldn't go for the two tone. Like as a one and done, I don't know if I would go for the datejust two tone for myself. I think I would go for what we're gonna talk about with Lolex, and that's the 41. Uh, let's see. Yeah, because it's just you the thing is because this crazy modern world, if you get the two tone, you don't want to get just the two tone because it's a waste of an opportunity, right? Like, am I crazy?
Yeah. If you buy that watch, you need to parlay it into something else.
Yeah, you get two watches. That's why you
You
get the
got to
two
buy
tone.
something else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't just get it by itself. Because if you want just one and done, then you get the Datejust 41, I think. And I would just go for steel. Something you can get it actually with the white gold bezel. Actually, getting one of these, it's not cheap. It's 10,000, and you can also combo it with like an Explorer 2. Actually, it's quite a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
So, but Lolex, we're going for steel.
I'm going steel bezel, so that's
Mm-hmm.
flat bezel, and I'm gonna
But
go oyster bracelet as well.
very nice.
Now
Those two look really good together.
it's
Okay.
just it's such a nice combo in my opinion.
Mm.
And I'm gonna do, I think, rhodium. I'm gonna do it just like my
Yeah.
avatar, like
Ooh.
exactly like my avatar. I'm gonna get that
The Lolex is going to become a Lolex.
exactly. And I don't know, man. The thing I like so much about it is that
Mm.
it's not a steel sports watch, but it has
Mm.
all the characteristics of a steel sports watch.
Oh yeah.
Oyster bracelet, smooth bezel. You can relatively pick it up in an AD. You're not going to be waiting forever to get it. It's a
Yeah.
cool watch, and it has a pop of color. I love that.
and they also can put you on the waiting list, and that's not going to be instant. It's going to be a very long waiting list.
Yeah.
You can get yourself on the waiting list for for you said the Batman, right? Or Pepsi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is really real, and the price is just you can't beat this price. I mean, you really
Exactly.
get a lot of value for this watch.
I just don't like how people. It's not that I don't like, and I kind of like. It's that
Mm.
it's not as respected as some of the other watches. They're like, oh, you should get a Milk House, or you should get the Explorer One, and it's
Yeah.
like I've handled all of these watches. I
Mm.
think the Datejust 41, especially in this configuration, is in the
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like if it wasn't so like it's really hard to separate ourselves from the bias and how desire. It's just the fact that these subs they're so desirable. The sports watches are so desirable. Is that a lot of people want them because of the desirability, right?
Yeah.
And they don't talk about, but these Datejust they're actually more wearable as a watch. They're so wearable,
Yeah.
and they're completely underestimated.
Yes, I agree. And I just like the pop of color. It's a stainless steel.
Mm,
The watches we all look at, the subs, the
mm,
Explorer 2s, Explorer 1s, even to a certain extent the GMT lines, they're
mm.
all so similar. Black dial, brushed bracelets, they're all so similar. In the Datejust, you can configure it so it's kind of personalized, if you know what I'm saying. You
By
know
the
what I
way,
mean? You
look
can
at this.
you can make your own.
Let me show you. This
Yeah.
is Ant G's watch, and here
So
Leo C
cool.
says two-tone Datejust 41 Rose Wimbledon fluted Jubilee. Oh, actually, you know what? That combination I think nothing Asian has. Datejust the rose gold. But here it is in just steel. So this is kind of like what you want. So they both got rhodium dials, but
Yeah.
this one is the Wimbledon dial, so it doesn't have those markers. It just it has those
Yeah.
Roman numerals. And look
Batons.
how it look how amazing it looks on this golf course.
It looks so
Tim,
cool.
Yep.
just time out for a sec. There was a super chat about 40 minutes ago, and I don't remember reading it.
Uh-oh. Wait, we got the Raj G.
From Will.
Oh my god. 40 minutes ago. What was I doing? Well, oh, okay. Oh, will lead to 1211. If you've been waiting for GMT at AD call. Sorry, Will. Oh man, Will. Sorry about this one. Wait, is he in the chat? Man, sometimes we miss these. I think I was looking for the calipers or something. If you've been waiting for a GMT and the AD calls for Explorer 2 Polar, would you take it? You know what? That's literally what I asked Ronald. Ronald, because he said that he was on the waiting list for GMT, and then the AD called him and they said they have a watch for him, and he told me, oh, it's either a Pepsi or a Batman, and I said, well, it could also be an Explorer too. But he said, no, it's definitely a GMT Master 2. So I said, oh, okay, no problem. Because I wanted to know, what if it's a GM? Like, what if they told him we have a GMT for you? And he goes over there and it's an Explorer 2. But I want to know, would you guys take it? What? Let's see. Let's chat. Let's see what chat would say. Would you take if you're on the waiting list for GMT Master 2 and the AD calls and says they have the new Explorer 2? Do you take the Explorer 2? Black or white, doesn't matter. Like, it's just random. Or do you continue waiting? Or do you continue waiting? And
Are we assuming that if you take it, you won't get the GMT?
who knows? Yeah, probably not. No, you're not gonna get the GMT. So what do you think? Would you take it, Conrad?
Well, I personally like the Explorer 2,
Mm-hmm.
so I probably would, but you shouldn't take it if that's not the watch you want. You should
Mm,
definitely wait for the one that you want.
mm. Wow.
Just like you do, Tim.
Yeah.
You decline watches because
I
you're waiting for
decline. I
another one.
decline the Sermit. I wanted the Explorer. I wanted the Explorer. I thought there's going to be like a really nice Explorer 2, which there is. The Black Explorer 2 is still amazing, but I was blown away by the Explorer 1. So
And didn't you decline a black Daytona at one
I
point?
did. I did decline the Black Daytona.
You
I was on the
declined a
waiting list.
black Daytona.
I was on the waiting list for the white one,
Oh, I
and
forgot
they
you
said
have.
we have
yeah.
a black one. Will you take it? And I said no. Sorry. I rather wait much. I'll wait as long as it takes, guys. I'm not in no rush. I just really want the white one because the way it will look in my collection. You already had the Explorer 2 polar dial, and I had the Submariner black dial. And I said, like, to have a combination of white and black would look amazing as three watches. And I said, fine, no problem, no problem. We'll let
And
you know.
I think it depends on the situation, because in some situations, picking up that Explorer 2 would help you get the GMT. But
Mm.
in other situations, you can only get one.
I
So
think so. I think if you have a relationship that's good enough, I think Rolex headquarters, they will not sell you a duplicate anymore. But if in the future, if you still want to get the, let's say a GMT Master 2, they'll still sell you, but they will not sell you like two Batmans, right? So once you got your Batman, they will not sell you a second one, or it will be super difficult. Like you have to give them a really good reason. So I think that's the thing, because you don't want to just take all the Batmans. That would be nasty. But personally, I think that's a really good answer. If you want the GMT Master 2, don't take the Explorer. Just say, look, I like the Explorer, but I just want something, and get like really need to have a reason why you need the Batman, right? Like, why does this doesn't satisfy you? You know what I mean?
yeah, look at Stewart's comment.
Stuart, no. I think turning it down builds credibility, and wait for what you want. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And Leo also says, I'd wait for the GMT, completely different look. Mm,
Yeah, it's different size. It's very different.
exactly. And it could be like a Rolex way of just seeing, are you actually trying to get the watch? Are you trying to get anything, or are you trying to, because it can hurt your relationship long term if you take everything that's kind of offered. So I don't know. I think no, I didn't take it. I didn't take the Cermet. I mean, I still might pick up the Cermet, but for a different reason. Um, yeah. And Mr. Chu says, I logged onto Chrono 24 yesterday. Was shocked at the reported value of my collection. It keeps getting more and more crazy each month. I know. Man, Rolex is going through the roof. It's insane. It's man. Not buying a watch is not buying a Rolex is kind of now like a it's like losing money.
You know what
uh
else is something interesting about the GMT Masters?
mhm,
So the original GMT Master, not the
mhm,
2, the original one,
mhm.
the 24-hour hand was not independently settable from
Hmm.
the other time.
Oh,
It it was just a 24-hour hand. There was no setting a different time zone.
the Explorer. Which one are you saying? Sorry.
The original GMT Master.
Okay.
Okay, and then so the bezel needed to rotate
Yes.
to show a second time zone.
Yes.
But with the new GMT Master 2, since it's now independently settable,
Hmm.
the the function of the bezel rotating, it's sort of antiquated in the
You can
design.
actually do 3 time zones now
Right.
because of that. But it's
Now,
impossible to read. It's
yeah.
impossible.
So now for you look at the Explorer 2, the bezel doesn't move because it doesn't need to.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like a holdover from a previous design with a different function, a different movement function.
It's almost like it's also like the w- Rolex originally made the rotating bezel for the diver's watch, and then it's almost like what can we add? What else can we put on the on this rotating bezel, right? And it's almost like, oh, they came up with the GMT because they already had the Submariner, and they were just trying to give a come up with a second watch idea.
It's also like how the fluted bezel used to have a function in that it was used to screw it on,
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
and now it's just for looks. It's
yeah.
kind of similar with the GMT. Yes, it still has function, but
Mm.
come on, who's really calculating third time zone? You have to be
And
like a rocket scientist.
dude, and I'm telling you, like, there's really after having an Explorer 2 for like almost 4 years now. I gotta say, like, I never needed. There was never a time in my life that was like, oh, if only it had the rotating bezel. If only it had it, that it would have been my life would have been so much easier. Because and that had to do with that I didn't know how to even set the second time zone. They actually in the on the Rolex watch, the second time zone works a lot differently than the way it worked on my Tag Heuer. Tag Heuer,
Yeah,
it's crappy. It makes no sense. You know, you quick set the GMT hand, which
right.
makes no sense because if you go to a different country, then you have to use the GMT hand to tell the time while you're in that other country.
So
It's not easy.
yeah, you're right. So the true GMT movements that Rolex, Seiko uses, Omega
Hmm.
uses it, where the regular hour hand, is the 1 hour jumper.
Yes.
That is a better movement for a traveler.
Oh yeah.
Whereas the ETA version of a GMT movement, where you set the 24-hour hand, that's a better movement for if you're staying put and you're trying to track time zones in different places around the world.
Yeah, like what Marco is doing with setting it to Australia. Then you know what
Right.
time it is in Australia.
It's the ETA version is better for that feature. Plus,
Yeah.
the ETA one, it has an added benefit of having a quick set date,
Ah, yes, yes, yes.
which is
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, but
So they are,
you lose that
yeah.
feature on the yeah.
So they are. Each one is better in a different use case.
I think even my Pepsi it doesn't have quick set date.
No, you have to jump the hour hand all around. It's a pain in the ass.
Brand, both forms of GMT movements are fairly easy to set. Well, you know what? Like, but the thing is, like, while setting it, you do risk breaking it. And so the more you kind of have to fight around with it, because like I didn't realize how convenient it was to set the GMT hand because I used to like I traveled like to Italy or like when we went to uh, England, right? It was so easy. So like I go to Korea, right? I've when my airplane lands, I just take out I set the watch into second position, jump like 12 hours, or I think it's 13 hours. Jump 13 hours forward. Boom, I got the new time. And my orange hand keeps showing me what time it is in New York. So it's very easy to do. Whereas, and that way, while I'm in Korea, I'm still using the the watch the way it was designed to be used, right? With the hour hand and the minute hand, showing me the proper time. Whereas if I was traveling with the ETA version, right? What the hell would I have to do? I would have to
Yeah, you'd have to do everything all over again.
yeah, like I would have to set the GMT hand. Like either I do one of two things. Either I quick set the GMT hand and while I'm in Korea, I'm using the 24 hour I have to not to forget to use the 24-hour hand to tell the time and the minute hand.
Yeah, which
Confusing
is
AF.
that's not a that's crazy.
Yeah. Or I spend another minute and I set the GMT hand to New York time and then set my hour hand to Korean time. So it's kind of like it's a two-step
You're yeah,
process.
you're resetting the watch and it involves hacking. So you're
Yeah.
you're just resetting the time. Whereas
Yeah.
on the Rolex, you never hack the watch. The
Yeah.
seconds keep ticking.
Yeah. So it's kind of You know, I think eh, first world problem. It's a first world problem, Brent. Agree. Totally agree with you. Uh, I totally agree with you on that one. But I mean, it's just different. I mean, that's the Rolex difference, right? Those minute, like once they figure out how to do a quick set date as well, on top of all of these functions, I think they've got the perfect watch, right? Because I think there's nothing like it's a perfect movement.
But you know what I think is now the gold standard on GMT?
Which one?
It's the Vacheron movement, the dual time.
But it's got two crowns.
Yeah, but it's so much more usable, like easy to use.
Let's see.
It's a good Vacheron has been lately they've been redesigning classic movements to be more user friendly. They've done it with the GMT. They've done it with the world time.
Why their
It's
website
very
not
interesting.
loading? Let's actually bring it up here. Let's take a look at this Viking watch. No, that is okay. Here it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are two big problems that, like for example, Rolex GM2 movements have that this movement solves.
Okay.
Okay.
What are they?
The first one is that here there's no 24-hour hand. There's
Ooh. Okay, but it creates another problem. But yeah, keep going.
yeah. So there's two 12-hour hands, and the second hand with the arrow, it has an AM/PM indicator.
Yeah.
So it's less confusing to read the time because you're just reading 12-hour time, not 24-hour time. Okay,
Sure.
so that's the first problem it solves, and the second problem is that second crown is actually a pusher, and it's a quick set date advancer.
Yes.
So you don't have to fight around with that with the hour hand spinning it round and around.
Right.
So they thoughtfully thought through the user issues with the conventional movements and fix those problems.
Yeah, it would have been perfect though. It's almost perfect. I agree. It's really good. It's really good movement. It's almost perfect though. And why I say it's almost perfect is because I don't like I'm not a huge fan of this date thing. If it was a date, like on a line game,
like a date
like
window,
a big date window, it would have been more readable because this is fine now, right? But having it's all cramped up in there, right? So they solve a problem of a 24-hour track that goes around, right? But they create a new problem with a date. It almost feels like there's no. Although I do really like the quick set button to do it. That's awesome. And actually, like the watch looks freaking amazing. But I do wish the date was a date window.
Yeah, and I think they could have done a date window. I think it was a like it wouldn't have been more technically difficult. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think that was a choice on their part.
I think so too.
But you
I
gotta
think
say, the way the dial is laid out makes it
yeah,
look really nice.
it's very balanced, very beautiful. Yeah, when you have the date, right? Like, it's a cutout. It's actually very. It's not.
It's not pretty.
Yeah, it's not exactly.
So
Ooh,
yeah, it's a little the date wheel is a little less functional, but I think it looks nice on the dial.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think like I agree. I think they did it for the aesthetic purposes of it, because it is more beautiful this way. Having the cutout is just kind of, it would also make the watch thicker because the date wheel just really takes up a lot of real estate. So they would have to. There's nothing in watchmaking is free. You have to sacrifice certain things to get other things. There's no like, you make a big hole. Yes, it's easy to read, but then you got a big hole in your dial, right?
Right.
So it's like, there's no perfect watch. I think there's no like, oh, don't put a date at all. That will make the dial really beautiful. But then you don't have a date.
Yeah, the GMT movement needs a date.
Yeah, like my God, it's a catch 22. There's nothing perfect in this world. Uh, but I think I've never seen a complication, the GMT function done. Actually, the Patek Philippe travel time does it very similar fashion.
Yeah.
Actually, let's bring it up here. And Archie starts in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Let me bring this up. We'll compare Patek travel time against Vacheron overseas. Let's see. Although, I mean, they're different. Let's actually, you know what? Let's see. Let's see how they did it, because they approached this problem from a different perspective. I think that's a very. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so look at this. The way Patek did it is that they have AM PM with just
A window.
yeah, a little window. And if it's colored, they mean it's blue, that's night. If it's white, it's daytime. Now, the Vacheron used the clickety click thing, the clicker, to quick set the date, whereas Patek used two clickety click buttons to set the GMT hand. So it's easier to set the GMT hand on the Patek, whereas it's easier to set the date on the Vacheron. Like, it's a give and take. Like, you choose. Like, you can't have both. Can you have both?
Well, you could. Like, how do you know?
Third
Do you
button.
know the Aquanaut doesn't have a quick set date on the crown? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It would be cool.
Yeah, who knows? That's a good question. It might. It actually might have the quick set date on the crown.
That would be everything.
That's the question. Can somebody find out? Mr. 2, VC is stunning watch, but I don't want one yet. I think it's yet. Once they make this Vacheron constant, once they make it in green with the green rubber strap, trust me, Mr. 2, you'll be the first when the AD opens on that day.
Yeah, and
right, think about
this travel time. I also really like how the two pushers give symmetry to the crown guards.
Actually, hold on. Let me. I was trying to.
Patek is a master of design.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that, side by side. Yeah, but you get 3 bracelets on the Vacheron. You just have that rubber strap on the Patek. So there's negatives, there's positives and negatives to everything. You can't get away. There's no perfect watch, guys. There's no perfect watch in this world.
Yeah,
wow.
Plus they're in different price brackets.
I mean, this is like what unobtained. How much is this?
Whatever it is, it's a lot more.
58,000. Yeah, 58,000 new, impossible to get. Oh! There's the quick set date. There's a pusher.
Wow.
See it? Little tiny baby pusher.
Brilliant movement.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. We figured it out, boys. So, now that we figured it out, I think it's time to wrap it up, because Archie is going to be in 10 minutes. Thank you, Conrad. Thank you, Lolex, for stopping by today. And I'll see you guys on the Archie stream.
Again, I would help you lay the crown, but count us higher than a mountain, and we be up here for the long run, strap in for a long one. We got everybody on one. Now you coming at the king, so you better not miss. And we only get stronger with everything I carry up on my back. You should paint it up with a target. Why would you dare me? We're taking over. send you back home, let you wake up.